Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another edition of Unger the Radar. And with me, I've got some very fine people with me today. This is great. I've got Mr. John Bartnick.
Hello.
How are you?
Not bad. I'm so sorry for being late. Like, I felt so bad coming in, but I promise it'll be the last time I get that homeless guy at the train station.
Oh no, no.
Last time.
Okay.
You figure it would have been a good deal. Like, he gets $2, and then my kid goes off and has an adventure. But no, this is why he was homeless, because he doesn't have a good work ethic.
You're a good Samaritan. Thank you so much, Mr. CJ Oakland. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Always good to be back. I noticed I didn't get a chair behind the desk, though. So.
No, there's no room.
Okay.
I know how Hollywood
I'm just
works.
saying.
But you're here, and this is great.
Okay, been here a couple of times. Only just got a mug.
Yeah, it's a step up, definitely.
Right.
And Miss Rachel Kolb, hello.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. I'm ready to talk about some movies.
Yeah, good. And a lot of movies we are going to talk about, indeed. Mm-hmm. So let's dive right in. First movie that we all saw was Driving While Black, and it's basically a comedy that comments on racism in America. This young guy, he's trying to make it to a job interview, but he gets sidetracked by cops and various forces that he cannot control. John, what did you think of this movie?
Funny enough, when you sent it to me, and I saw the title, I'm like, oh crap. I'm a fat, middle-aged white guy. How am I going to review this movie?
Oh, we're the perfect for people to be interviewing.
Not the demographic you'd expect to be reviewing this movie.
I didn't think that far ahead.
And then I saw it. I'm like, oh, thank God it didn't freaking suck. Oh, it was good. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was really funny and really sent like a good message. Like, it was good.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a really powerful film. Like, it talked about a lot of serious things, but it was a comedy throughout. Like, there were so many good jokes on the part of the main actor did a fantastic job with it.
Dominique Purdy.
Yes. I couldn't remember his name.
Kind of like a young Dave Chappelle, I'd say.
Yeah.
And Rachel, what'd you think?
Yeah, structurally it reminded me a lot of like Spike Lee's really like his best stuff. Like Do the Right Thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so good.
It's it's a great mix of drama and comedy, but it keeps that tension throughout the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It does a really good job with building that tension of having the side story of the cops investigating this ongoing murder alongside all of these elements that you're saying, oh no, these added up could make them think that he's their suspect, the guy they're looking for.
Yeah. And it's a really important topic, obviously racism. Yeah. And this movie handles it very delicately. Not really subtle, but in a very tasteful way, I'd say.
Yeah, it's about as subtle as Richard Pryor, but with way more taste. Like, it was really good. Like, I enjoyed it. Almost all the jokes land in this movie, which not many movies, even on like A-tier movies that are in like cinemas widespread throughout the world, nail. And it was just shocking. Yeah. Like, there's one bit about cops chasing after them. What if cops only had knives to defend themselves?
Yep.
It was I had to pause the movie. Like, I was
laughing my ass off. Just said a cop pulls out a knife. Get out of the car, sir.
Yeah, it was really good, really well made, and we're probably not going to hear much about it. Hopefully we will.
I actually hope we do.
Yeah. I really hope this makes some rounds and people start talking about it.
The trailer said that it won like I think it was like 19 awards at different festivals.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
That's great.
So apparently it's been doing well at the festivals, but I'm surprised I hadn't heard about it until now.
I mean, it's in theaters now, so hopefully people will go see it. It's but it needs to be promoted better. And that's why we're here today, I guess.
Yes.
Well, like lots of these small independent movies never get like the light of day.
Right.
And in all fairness, most of them shouldn't. But this one really needs to be brought to the
It really
forefront.
deserves it.
Yeah.
Because it does such a great job of being like a comedy film first,
Right.
but it's also this drama at the same time. It's never back and forth. It's never like there's a comedy scene and then a serious scene. It's literally throughout the movie, these characters are just randomly stopped by the police, which is a thing that regularly happens. Is people will just be pulled over for no reason simply because they're black, or they'll be frisked.
Yeah.
And the people keep up the comedy throughout, but you also, every time you're thinking when you get pulled over by the police, are they going to be shot right now? Are they going to? Is something going to happen that's going to make them think something's wrong? Like, you have that present every time, where it's like a routine thing. Where like, I've been pulled over twice. Once because I was driving too slow once.
Okay.
And it's like the police are fine with me, but I have friends who I worked with who were black, and they said they would get pulled over 5 times a week for no reason, just by police in their area. Wow. So it's like every time you have to wonder if you say one wrong thing, or if they see something that looks bad, is this going to end badly for them? Are they going to be injured?
Yeah. Which
isn't always a thing on the police, because there is a state where they're afraid, but there's also this undercurrent of bigotry to it as well, that all you need is one racist cop to think something. Or police officers who keep hearing these other stories of like police being injured because of people who have been abused by police.
Yeah.
So it's just a dangerous situation for everyone involved.
Right.
And this movie captured it really well while still being funny and telling a great message.
And it's bittersweet in that respect, because it's really funny, but at the same time, it's very serious. So you got that balance that is really, it's established very well, I think.
Yeah. One of the biggest compliments I could give it is similar to Marvel's Luke Cage.
Yes.
And that movie did something that I never thought could do,
Seriously.
is make me feel like I'm relatable to a middle-aged black man living in a ghetto and struggling just his day-to-day life. As you can tell, I'm not. But like, it did such a good job of portraying like how his everyday life is, what he does. He's 420 friendly, which isn't a bad thing. But he just goes on his day-to-day life, and it shows both sides of the story, not just him, but also the police, on how some of these cops get to be the way they are. Okay. Why they're racist, and it's so rare that you get such a tasteful look at both sides. It just impressed me all around.
Okay.
The movie that I would actually want to put this back to back with, and not just because the subject matter, would be Get Out, because I think also the lead of this movie, I believe he also wrote it. Is that correct?
Yeah, he wrote it with the director.
Yeah. It's another great example of people not necessarily seeing the right roles for them or seeing the right projects for them, but deciding to create them for themselves.
Right.
Which, again, with Jordan Peele, being writer director on that and creating such an amazing movie his first time out.
Yeah.
I think it's a very similar situation here, perhaps on a lot lower budget.
I've never heard of Dominic Purdy prior to this. Have you guys? I think
No, I haven't heard of him.
I think he's
I'm
pretty much
definitely going to look out for anything he's
Yeah,
on.
he's pretty much a
He did
newcomer.
a great job.
Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. So moving right along, let us move on to Kill Order. And this movie, it's a sci-fi action thriller in the same vein of it's like X-Men meets The Matrix, I guess. I'm being generous.
Yeah, and
I'm
that
being
someone
generous.
saw X-Men and someone saw The Matrix and said, we could do that.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Power Rangers.
You almost got a spit take. You're like,
almost.
That the script. You're giving it. Go ahead, review it.
Here's the actual synopsis. A troubled high school student discovers the truth behind his hidden abilities. So that's like every 90s action sci-fi movie, I think.
Yeah, here's what I'll say honestly about the film is that it has good action. Like, you can tell this was made by people who did stunt work themselves and said, let's make a movie to show what we can do.
Right.
And they weren't necessarily like script writers or something like that. I can definitely see that taking place. Like, I enjoyed some of the stunts. I thought some of it was interesting. But my biggest problem is that when you have all these fights, you don't really know what's happening. Like, you said in the description, it's about a teenager who discovers the truth. But does he discover anything? Because no one really has conversations in the movie. Which is the problem.
He doesn't even talk, really.
Yeah, he doesn't talk a lot, but whenever he talks to anyone, he said, they have the generic line when he's running, there's no time to explain. It's I'd like some time. Can we just take 2 minutes? Because I don't know, he has, flashbacks that are, interesting of, what might have happened to him, but we never know, does he remember these? Because he never talks to the caregiver about it. We don't know the relationship there. Right. He never talks to any of the bad guys to know, does he know why he's being chased? It's just a guy being attacked by random people and fighting them off.
Right.
And not really knowing how he does it. Does he understand the powers? Does he know what's happening in any capacity?
Right. And as a screenwriter,
it's never really explained.
A character's motivation is key. Why are they running?
You have, the bad guys doing stuff, but we don't know why. It's like they're giving people superpowers and experimenting on them.
Yeah.
And that's not their goal. They say, we need these people to make our goal, but they never say what the goal is.
Right.
The bad guys, they never explain what's happening.
Yeah, this movie, I mean, it barely breaks an hour. It's like an hour and 15 minutes, I think, with
credits.
With the credits
Feels
on
a lot
top
longer,
of it.
though.
This is,
a lot
but that's
longer.
the thing. This is an audition reel. Like, that's
Yeah, this is
all
basically
that people
just
should
a teaser
consider
reel they
this
made
to
from
be.
it. Yeah.
Right.
So, and based on that, I mean, I wasn't checking the time on it. It went by quickly. I didn't hate it for what it is, and I didn't hate any of the people involved. It's corny. And
There are
it's
a
not
lot
something
worse.
It's not something I would recommend.
Right.
It's not something I would outright recommend to people, but
Like-
it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Right.
Like, you could just cut out any one of the action scenes or just put it on YouTube, and it'll just be like just people fighting and kind of have some special effects, and that's it. Like, it doesn't build up to a story really.
Yeah, the story. It's a very weak film. I wouldn't even call it a film. It's just like an embarrassing project that these film studios.
But I did enjoy some of the stunts. Like, it wasn't like people coming in made to act or they trying to tell a story.
Right.
It was just they wanted to show these people being able to fight, and there was some decent fighting to me.
Well,
like, I've seen a lot worse stuff in like major movies come out.
The writer director James Mark, he started off as a fight choreographer, so that's why
what I figured.
it's very obvious in this movie.
Yeah.
And he probably should have stuck to that line of work.
Also, I think that James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez would have saved a lot of money on their upcoming movie if they just cast that girl as the lead in that movie coming out, because she has the anime eyes.
She has enormous eyes.
She has
Jessica
unreal,
Clement.
enormous eyes.
So the red-haired girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more of her. She was pretty good.
I think she was the only one who acted in the movie.
No. Dennis Akiyama, the older, like, I guess Yakuza boss or whatever. Remember they showed those scenes? He was pretty good.
But he's in like 3 scenes.
I know. I wanted more.
They imply like I'm in charge of this organization.
Yeah.
Or there's like people above me and we're going to make our goal, but they don't say what it is. So it's like you got a guy who's like a decent actor to show off for 1 minute on set to say stuff, and he's like, it'll be in the sequel, and he's like, there's going to be a sequel to this.
Yeah. Oh, spoiler alert! By the way, there probably will be a sequel because at the very end, scene.
If like they make it themselves, then all the power to them to just make their own stuff. If they
they'll have more
it.
money by then, so hopefully it'll be better. We'll see. John?
Oh my god! Like
he's been silently waiting.
yeah, it's just been
Bubbling,
boiling and brewing, and oh my, what a piece of shit! Like, Jesus Christ, I've seen divorces that look better. Like, this was so bad. Like, even like the action, like, was good, but the problem is that they went to the theaters and saw John Wick, and they're like, oh, we could do that. Who's got $50? Like the action in it resembled kind of The Matrix, but then it went to John Wick. And then they had this weird 3-minute shot of the shaky cam. It just went like this. It was so weird. Like, who does that with a camera shot? Like did someone put it on a gimbal and then had to run out for coffee? Like, I don't understand how the hell it happened.
Well, I did kind of like the editing in the flashback sequences in the lab.
Like, that was interesting. When it started off, I'm like, okay, it's bad sci-fi, but it's good. Like, it's decent, like, kind of effect to it. Like, it's setting up this. But the biggest thing is they never explain that at all.
No.
Like, it never really sets into it. The flashbacks just kind of happen.
The biggest flaw in this movie is that it does world building much like John Wick. Because if you look at the movie, both movies are focused around the action and that one guy. And you don't know much about him, but they try to world build. What John Wick did was set up the hotel. He was apparently, a hitman. John Wick made us care about a goddamn dog that we saw on screen for 15 seconds.
I know.
That dog
This movie gave me at max 90 minutes because it kept on buffering. It gave me 90 minutes of buffering, and I didn't care about anything besides the fact that I found out at the end of the credits, there's no directorial credit at the end. It's plugged right before you see the movie, so you forget who to be mad at by the end.
Well, his name is James Mark, and you should be angry at him.
I think the biggest thing is, like you were saying with John Wick, they're trying to do world building, but John Wick talks people. People talk about John Wick.
Yeah.
People talk about him saying, like, oh, you don't want to mess with this guy, and we got the sense of what he can do, or they tell stories about what he did.
Exactly.
Like, and whenever someone talks to John Wick, you can tell they're intimidated by him, or like if they don't know, they're quickly made to realize like what they know about him. But that's never established about this kid. They kind of talk about how they want him, or how they need him for something, but they never say why.
Why or
Not
what.
just that, but they send their best assassins after them in the park, right?
Yeah.
They hit every mother ever in that park besides the target. they killed at least 4 people in headshots, dead center or dead center in the back. How do you kill everyone else but the person you're aiming at? Fix your sights.
Because then we wouldn't have an action movie.
Yeah.
That's not action. That's flaws.
This isn't really an action movie. It's a cutscene, like a series of cutscenes.
That's what I thought. It's kind of like a video game, and that it's just like you get a character, he beats up a bunch of people, and then there's kind of like a flashback or like a cutscene to kind of explain it, and then you just fight more people. Like that's what it felt like to me. It's just like a cheap video game that came out.
I think there are cutscenes in video games that are better than this.
Who the hell was that lava guy who kept on popping up?
They never explained that.
They never explained that.
Was that like his inner demon?
Here's the thing. They did explain it, but it happened so fast, and they never really explain it that it's like it's there and gone.
It's his inner self, but like, what? Like that's your explanation? Why is he lava? Yeah. Like why couldn't he just be a crappy Human Torch? He had to be this weird lava being cool. There's so many things wrong that I wanted to see like what other bad decisions they might make.
It's time for John's list, everybody.
Yeah, like you're just gonna call me Mr. Lister from now on. Just I keep on bringing Lister shows. And like this movie was so bad, I couldn't come up with 5. I came up with 6. That's how bad it was. Like, would they want to perform Cunnilingus on Mama June? Cunnilingus is oral sex.
Who's Mama June?
But Mama June, that fat, hideous.
From Here Comes Honey Boo Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the mother.
Yeah, the one that looks like Drew Carey but unsuccessful. Like, would they invest in Blockbuster stock after this? Like, I think they might. Like, why don't they have an ice skating competition with Tanya Harding? Like, that's a smarter idea than making this goddamn movie. Like, would they want to try and eat tomato soup with just one chopstick? Like, that sounds like a good idea. Like, nothing in this movie makes sense. Hence why my list doesn't make sense. How about getting a blood transfusion from Charlie Sheen?
Oh, God.
Tiger blood, yum.
Yeah, but not... Yeah.
That's a good idea. Like, I mean, much better spent.
I don't want Sheen's blood in my body.
I feel like it's already in there because I'm so mad and I'm so like punked. Like, how about? I bet they would want to see OJ's knife collection. Like, where's my goddamn rim shot, Unger? Like,
we don't have it yet. We're working
3 times now.
We're working on it.
Damn it to hell.
But anyway, guys, final thoughts on Kill Order, Rachel.
I guess I don't have the same level of vitriol towards it. I hope that they get hired for better projects. That's all.
Hopefully, like if they get work from this, where someone says like, okay, they did some good stunts, put them in to do something for some fighting, I'd be into it because it's again, I've seen major movies coming out that has much worse fighting than what we saw here.
Yeah.
But again, like these people, if they did this as a passion project, I didn't sense a lot of passion from it. It just seemed like we're going to shoot like a real for us to shoot action, but we're going to make like a larger story around it.
Right. So there's no heart in the movie.
This was also crowdfunded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That crowd is pissed.
Oh god, I can imagine.
You know who also does great action? Michael Bay. But you know we're not praising him, are we?
No.
Yeah. No.
Well, we might in a few minutes actually.
Oh dude. Oh yeah. Fair enough.
You know, yeah. So, guys, Kill Order is going to be out on video on demand, digital HD, and DVD on February 6th. And if you are desperate for action entertainment, go check it out. Otherwise, do not waste an hour and 17 minutes.
Watch The Raid again. Just
Raid?
watch The Raid or The Raid 2. Either one of them is better.
See any of the Umbaks. Like, there's one of them where he got revenge for an elephant.
I wouldn't agree with that.
And that made more sense in this movie.
Is that anime?
Above this one.
No, it was live action.
Oh, live action.
Tony Jaa.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a lot much better action out there, but Kill Order is 7.
I'm in pain.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on then. John's in pain. We're going to move on. So, yeah, we've got 2 Nicolas Cage movies that are out. Well, one's coming out, one's out already. That's Mom and Dad, which is kind of like a bizarre thriller.
I saw the trailer for that one. Yeah, it seems interesting.
It's about a mother and father who, like, I don't even know what they...
It's basically, from what I got from it, you have the cliche in horror movies where, like, the children turn evil, where you have, like, Village of the Damned and, like, all those ones like that where it's about the children turn evil. So this is the reverse of that, where some kind of virus or unexplained thing makes parents have this natural instinct to want to kill their children. Okay. So it's like, I think they show that, like, in school, like...
What makes them want to...
I don't know what it is. It's just, like, all the parents suddenly are trying to kill their children. But it's like explain
a
that some kind of thing happened. No, this is
Speaking as a dad, like, I get it.
I know you're fully like ready. You're infected already. But it's like it's something where the parents want to kill the children, not necessarily like out of their own will. It seems like they're just
like
one day.
zombies or something like that.
Yeah, like everybody, but they still have their personality. So it's just like they're suddenly like, oh, these children we love, we're gonna murder them.
Now I know what you're talking about. That
Yeah.
it kind of resembled Cooties, if you remember that.
Yeah,
movie.
like that one.
Cooties,
But it's
the
like
trailer.
where instead of the children actually being evil, so you have to kill them, it's just
Yeah.
the parents get the impression that the children need to die and have to do it.
Jesus.
And it seems interesting. Like it's a black comedy. Like it's
Right.
treated of the parents are trying to murder their children
Who
in the
else
house.
is filling out the cast in this?
So we've got
don't
Nick
know
Cage
that.
as the father, and I think it's Selma Blair as the mother.
Yeah, I think
And
there was
some-
someone else in the movie from the trailer. I remember, I think I saw another actor, but I don't remember who it was.
Sadly, I wasn't able to get links to that movie,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely gonna check it out in the future. And then next week, I'm gonna actually be reviewing Kill Order, not Kill Order.
Again?
Glutton for
No,
punishment
yeah,
already.
God,
We're
no.
just
I
gonna
will
do the
not.
same show
Yeah.
again. Same show again.
No, it's called Looking Glass, and it's another thriller starring Nicolas Cage. So, but speaking of
Just give me 2 seconds.